Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video. I'm here today with Elvin Karana, Associate Professor at the Industrial Design Engineering Faculty in Delft. She's the founder of the Material Experience Lab and also project leader from the IDE faculty of the Deltap. Together we are gonna get more in depth on the design assignment, basically the design team, what we're going to do in Bangladesh, but also related to the frame and the activities that we're gonna do over there. So I let you, Elvin, introduce yourself and your work a bit, and you give us a bit the introduction of what is going to be our work.
Exactly. I think more about the theories behind this project, how we started, and what I focus on in my work in general. Materials which are building blocks of everything around us, to make us think, feel, and act in certain ways. So, for example, we like some of them, right? Some of these materials, we like touching them, but we hate some others. And we think some of them are very old-fashioned, but some are very modern, very interesting, or very surprising. And we care for some of them, so we kind of carry it very carefully. And so these qualities in my work are referred as experiential qualities of materials, and these are equally important with technical properties that we always consider when we select materials in product design. And the notion of materials experience in my work in general explains this theoretical understanding behind experiences we have with materials, this intangible side next to the tangible side. The materials experience framework we introduced with Professor Elsa Jakardi in 2015 explains further this active role of materials in shaping our integral dialogues with artifacts, but also our ways of doing. So we kind of, in summary, we emphasize the interrelationship between materials, people, and practices, and how they shape one another and shape our overall experiences. I'm explaining materials experience thinking because it really explains why we are involved in this project, actually, because we use materials experience as a strategy in the project to ease the acceptance of these local materials and the products made of local materials in Deltas, in Bangladesh specifically. If materials have this intangible side next to their technical properties, let's say, because some of them conduct heat, some of them can really resist certain impact, but if they have this intangible side next to that, so they evoke certain meanings or associations, how can we understand this intangible side? And if we would like to integrate this experiential side in the design process, how can we do that? How can we design for material experiences? So this was actually the next question in my work. Material-driven design, actually, the method that we developed explains this step-by-step approach to design for material experiences, especially focusing on a material as a starting point, which is not a very conventional process in design, because usually we design, and in a conventional design process we design and we select materials.
And then we find the material
exactly. But here more like, what if we have a material at hand and we would like to find a proper application for it? And proper or meaningful here is balancing this technical or combining technical aspects with experiential aspects. So exploring what people think and do with these materials. I'm explaining this because it's very the core understanding in this project, in the Deltap project as well, which will bring me, because in material-driven design, what happens is we're combining very bottom-up and top-down approach, and designers are really acting as active makers of materials. This designer's active role has been also emphasized in recent theories, for example in DIY materials, and in which actually designers really act as material makers and developers, and at the same time develop the material and product in an iterative manner.
And they develop the process to create the material from scratch, right?
Absolutely. So they find ingredients, they combine certain ingredients, they develop their machines. So they really kind of take the entire process as a whole, and from really ingredients to the final application, they continue. So this is a kind of a background story about this Deltap project, because for us it was very important, and for me personally very important, that for the first time I will apply these theories and methods in another context, which is very valuable, very important in Delta areas. So we will see. I think maybe you can explain what we will do exactly with this.
Yeah, so I can explain a bit more what are we gonna do over there. So the DIY materials become the central theme of our work over there, and especially the practices, but also the material experiences. It is going to be the understanding of the local available materials, the techniques and the tools that they are gonna use, well, that they use actually. We're gonna map those techniques and those materials and try to use them for the building of the actual water system. The research on local materials is gonna be the bridge between two other research areas, which are the material and product development, so the water scale system, the water system, and the social adoption, so the people actually. So on one side we're going to understand the system requirements, and on the other side the local culture and their needs.
Absolutely. So the materials experience, so the technical aspects and experiential aspects, they will be mapped finally, the local materials and the products.
Yes. Our idea is also, for example, to go for visiting locations of craftsmen and artisans over there.
Exactly.
So then we can map out all the techniques and tools that they use, and also bring back here a lot of data to create new frameworks, maybe.
Absolutely. So almost like repurposing their ways of doing or their daily practices, making practices into our DIY material making process, right?
In order to investigate these areas, we selected different methodologies and tools. So some of them are related to indeed local materials understanding and selection, for example the material narratives and the material driven design. Others are relating to mapping the system requirements, so like requirements list or morphological chart. And finally, there are tools such as the context mapping or the opportunity design kit that are going to be much more useful to understand the local culture and the people over there, and also create a more comfortable environment around this water system itself.
If this is our approach, we can maybe explain a little bit a couple of clear outcomes. All right? Because in 1 year time, we aim to achieve a couple of things. So one of these, of course, that you explain also, Federico, the water system. And water system includes the water tower, right? The pipes.
Yes.
So the connection system
the
to the houses, distribution, storage.
Storage of water.
Yes. Water taps.
Yes.
So
like the system all around the water tower.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So what we aim to do, of course, we will find the local material, which will hopefully answer these technical requirements in relation to water, carriage, storage and hygiene related things, but also the experiential requirements, which will come from the understanding of culture, society, what happens there, what people think. So first of all, we would like to find this local material or a couple of materials, and then we would like to see what we can do. So we will try to, of course, tinker, play with these materials, and hopefully we will come up with a couple of material concepts, and we'd like to test them first. And for these material concepts, we are also collaborating with Dave Hackens from Precious Plastics, so we would like to also build there a kind of local lab that we can really produce our own materials and products there, but also empower people that they can continue to produce, and also they can be repair if needed, certain parts. So this will be, I think, we can say that these products and the system around it, and also the lab to make these products, will be the two clear outcomes of the project we expect. And next to that, I think very important is that you will show probably our website in the book.
Yeah.
I think all process, right, as an outcome, to share this process, and hopefully it will be repeated in some other places later on.
Yeah, be able to create something that gives basically a blueprint and then scale all the system for other population, other contexts, other cultures.
Exactly.
So that would be a great outcome for the project.
Absolutely.
Finally, I'm going to leave for Bangladesh actually tomorrow night. So I'm gonna stay there for 8 weeks. And we created, especially for this, a website that contains all the information about the Deltap project in general, also the updates of the project itself and other videos as well. So go check it out and
follow us there.
Follow us there. Ciao!
Ciao!